In this video, I'm going to review the market for May 2nd for NASDAQ. Okay, so if you look at the NASDAQ, this is May 2nd, this day. This is hourly chart, and this is May 2nd. The market obviously didn't move much, but let's see if we had any trade opportunities using order flow. So market is obviously bullish. If you want to trade this day, you obviously should look for buys, but and the previous day, the value area high and low were too close together, and we had a lot of volumes and distribution here. And usually, when you see that area in a previous day, it means that we probably won't move on the next day that much, or we're getting into a range. But it's not accurate, and you can't say that every time that you see that, the next day is going to be like that. So market opens at NYC open is at like 7 o'clock for me, so it's going to be on this candle. So let's go to lower time frames to see what opportunities we had. This is 1 minute chart. So the delta was positive, and market opens around somewhere around here. This is the market open. We dropped first, but after that, as you can see, the delta was rising, and this is a good sign for buys usually. So if we start to analyze the chart like 30 minutes before the market open, we would draw a volume profile like that. So since we're looking for a buy, and this is a leg for a buy, I'll start to draw it like that, and the market open is around here. So this is the ending part for the market open, so it's exactly right here. If we look at the chart, we did hit the value area low here, and as you can see, it's like really accurate, like almost to the point. We reacted to the value area low and we jumped higher. So I didn't take that trade because I don't like to trade in the first 30 minutes of the market unless I'm pretty sure about the direction. As I said, the previous day value area high and low were pretty close, and this is usually not a good sign for trend continuation. So I didn't take this trade, but let's see what do we have in lower time frame here. So this area is exactly the same area here, as you can see. Okay, so the value area low would be around here. This is the value area low, and this chart is footprint. The right side is delta, and the left side is sum of buy and sells volume. So as you can see, we did hit the value area low for the first time here, and we had quite a bit of range here. But if we analyze the range, we were having some buys here, but the interesting part is here. So we had 80, the delta for here, we had 88 volumes here, and 82 of them were sells. So market tried to push the market, big sellers tried to push the market down, but buyers absorbed all the sales. And then we had a good amount of buys after that, and the candle eventually closed bullish. This is 30 seconds time frame. So obviously this is a good enough sign for me to enter a buy position. But as I said, I don't like to trade in the first 30 minutes of the market. So if you want to risk it, you could go right here. Okay, even if you wouldn't enter here, we had another absorptions for the buyer. Sellers tried to push the market down, but buyers absorbed that, and then they bought aggressively, a huge amount of buys here, 126 volumes, and 106 of them, the difference between buys and sells were 106. So here the market tried to sell here. The delta is 25, and the volume is also 25. So all 25 volume were sells, and buyers absorbed that, and then they bought aggressively. As you can see here, the delta is 106 here, and the total volume is 126. So even if you wouldn't enter here, that this would be a perfect place for entering the market. And as you can see, after that, we just kept going higher. They tried to absorb, they tried to push the market down again here, and they got absorbed again. Look, multiple opportunities to enter the market, but different entry points. The best one obviously is this one, but if it was me, I would be going inside right here. You could add more, like you could add, after you enter here, you could add one more position, because this is obviously a really good sign, and you will get 2 entries. And yeah, as you can see, so we kept going high after that, but something interesting happened after we got here. So around here in the market, a news came out, and Iran actually fired a few missiles toward UAE, and this is obviously a bad sign for Nasdaq. And immediately after that, I tried to look for sales immediately. And when you draw your volume profile like that for buys, and all of a sudden, for some reason, the market shifts quickly, and if you look at the market here, you can't just say that the market shifted. But if you consider the fundamental news, Iran firing missiles, so you know this might be a starting point to go, if potentially even hitting the lows of the day. So basically, you're considering the fundamentals, and you should like consider that the trend might get reversed here. But if you want to do trade like that, you should be really good at fundamentals. So I don't suggest this type of trading for beginners. So if you want to draw it again, you shouldn't consider this leg again, because now we're pretty sure that the market is going to go down, and we should take the leg for the downside. So it's going to start here, if I want to be accurate here. So let's see. Let's see what edge do we have. So the first area is actually point of control here. So market dropped. You are pretty sure that the market is going to go down because of the news. The point of control, we also have a low volume node here, as you can see. If you could look at the profile, we had a low volume node, and it actually matches perfectly for entering a trade. So the first trade might be here, but this is pretty risky because we didn't drop yet. It might be risky. So let's see what do we have here for that leg, the point of control, and that leg overall. I'm gonna go, so this is exactly where the point of control is. It's gonna be here on this line. So as you can see, we dropped hard, and then the point of control is going to be here. So on the retest for the point of control, we had a volume, 25 volumes, and the delta is 25 positive. So they were all biased, and they couldn't push the market higher. It's a little bit dangerous because we closed above the volume, but as you can see, the next candle, the next two 30-second candles, we sold a lot of volumes here, as you can see, minus 72, minus 127. So that should be good enough for you that, okay, the buyers could not keep buying and the aggressive sellers entered the market really good. So the first position might be this one, and it's really dangerous though, because it's at the start and the beginning of the dropping, and we could potentially hit the value area high also. So that it might be dangerous. You have to be like doing half size here maybe, or controlling your risk. And overall, I don't like to take trades on point of control. Usually it doesn't go well unless we have like a volume node like here that we have. But the position that I took actually was down here. So after we dropped hard, I knew we're gonna hit the low. Usually, if you can see here, this is the low of the daily. And when you have such a news like that, there's a high chance we get the lows or the highs depending on the bias for that position. So obviously we were sellers, so we will get the lows. So the next reason that this one was not safe enough because we didn't have like a long enough candles in the volume profile. So if you have more candles, obviously more volumes, and it's going to be more accurate. So we had a low volume node here. As you can see, we did hit it again later on, and it's really like working really good. So we had a low volume node here. You can see like barely enough volumes here, so there's a high chance the market will touch it. We have a point of control here, and let's see what happened. So when the market was coming higher, I saw the low volume node, I saw the point of control. So anything between these two areas would be nice enough for me to enter a trade. So let's see what happened in the footprint. So first we went down here. This is the low for the down here. This is the low. And then when we came up here, this is the point of control. And this is the high for low volume node. So we touched it and instantly reacted. So the first contact for the point of control was here. We didn't see much here, but once we get to that low volume node, we have one absorption here. As you can see, 25 is the delta positive. And then sellers aggressively entered the market, and one more absorption here, one more aggressive sellers, another aggressive sellers. So you had a bunch of opportunities here to enter the market at different prices, but anything between these two lines would be good. Honestly, after you see that and that rejection, all you need to do is to wait for some sellers, and you can see them in this candle. So you would enter, like, if you look at it realistically, you would enter here with the stop loss above that, which is a small stop loss. So every 4 tick in futures is just 1 pip. So if you see that the candle here is too long, it's not a lot of pips, honestly. It's like more like 10, 15 pips on NASDAQ, which is nothing basically. So even if you wouldn't enter here, you had another chance here. You could see the sellers pushing down aggressively. And yeah, so as you can see, we dropped hard. After that dropping, which is going to be here, we had some quite bit of range here, to be honest, but if you would put your stop loss break even, because we entered like on top here, almost here, you would be fine. And then we eventually did hit the low. I can show you guys here. This is the daily low. So we did hit the low, and there was a lot of liquidity down here. I can show you guys. So this is the daily low, this line, and as you can see, we did take a lot of stop losses down here. These dots, they're called fishing. So a lot of liquidity was down here, and they all caught it. As you can see, most of them are sells, because anyone who buys the chart, their stop loss would be sells, right? And they're going to be below the lows most of the times for retails and a lot of people. So as you can see, all these negative deltas are stop losses most likely. And after that, we pushed back higher. If I can show you guys the higher time frame, pushed back higher. The reason was that the US reaction to that attack, and also UAE, was not hard and harsh. So the market stayed positive, and also overall fundamental, like in long term for stock market right now, is really good. So market stayed positive, and on the next day and the day after we had actually pretty good news about the deal with Iran, US and Iran. So far everything is good. And I closed my position after we did hit the low because daily highs and lows are enough for me to take profit or at least exit 50 or even more percent of my position. Usually I do close my position on daily highs and lows, but sometimes I don't. But even if I don't, I would close a portion of my position at least 50%. Because usually after the market like hunts daily highs and lows, we would like do a comeback like here, as you can see. We did actually fill the low volume node here completely to the point on top, and then we dropped again. And I don't like that. We had a good position here, but it's not a long-term trade. We're going to get inside and get outside as fast as possible. Uh, and we're not going to hold the position. At least that's how I trade. So that was the May 2nd. I will review the next days if they were interesting, and I will upload it in my channel. So make sure to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss the content.